Cracking the code to entry level project management jobs what no one tells you, but I will. If you're new to the channel, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework, 8-point framework in which I'm going to unpack today's title, which is entitled Entry Level Project Management Positions to Consider. Listen, family, I know you guys really enjoyed the CAPM, like roles that you could get. This one I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. The reason why I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, we're gonna unpack this on the skills that you need to develop, as well as some actionable steps along in the journey. I'm excited because I know you guys were excited when I put that video out. So I thought I'll do a remix of that video. So I hope you don't mind. I love the quote what John Maxwell says. He says, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found, watch this, family, in your daily routine." Again, the secret to your success is found in your daily routine. Listen, I know a lot of people will tell you that you don't need any experience to be a project manager. I don't know how to answer that, but to be very transparent, I disagree with that because there is a opportunity where you could jump from project coordinator or get hired in as a project manager right away. But I've been reading the stories, I've been doing my research, or as we would say, I was doing my homework. And I've always found it when someone made a dramatic leap with no type of like having an opportunity as being a project coordinator or a project facilitator or anything, and right into project management, they are faced with a windfall because they didn't have a chance to see the position be done, meaning they didn't have anyone to model, or they weren't doing their research or watching videos like this. What am I saying, family? What I'm saying is I know there's a lot of information out there that's saying you don't need to have experience. Here we go again. They are correct, but they're also wrong as well because of the fact of if you have an opportunity to work a project coordinator role and then transition into a project management role, it will benefit you on a longer path. If you're trying to make a career of this instead of a job, yeah, if you're looking for a job, maybe they are right. Then you won't need any experience. But if you're looking for a career, and last time I checked, with a career is something you plan to do long term. When you're looking for just a job or something to do, this is short term. So we're going to unpack some of these titles. I really truly hope that this really helps someone out there today. I'm excited. I want to get you excited about the different opportunities out there. All right, so the first one, this is my favorite right here. The reason why this one is my favorite is because this is exactly what I did to start off. I wasn't in this role long, but the skill set that I was able to gain from this allowed me to be a better project manager when I got into the role. So the first point that I'm going to talk about is a junior business analyst. Okay, a junior business analyst. What you would be doing. So first of all, let's talk about the skill development. What does the skill development look? Focusing on analytical tools like SQL or Excel, and then understanding the business analyst frameworks, like a SWOT or a PESTLE type framework. This really helps you. And of course, online courses. Now, I always told you that I'm going to give you some actionable steps. Actionable steps is this. Watch this, family. Won't you create hypothetical business case studies? Or this was another thing that I didn't take advantage of, but now looking back at it, man, I should have done it. Is volunteer to analyze small business or opportunities that with it. Well, let me just put it like this: small business to volunteer to help small businesses analyze their business problems, and then document your findings and recommendations. This offers an opportunity to build you a portfolio. You see, family, this is why I love the junior business analyst role, because as a project manager, you are responsible for leading the project. And when you're leading the project, you're going to be up against a lot of problems along the journey. And so understanding one of the key things you always hear me talk about, documentation will always be conversation. As a junior business analyst, you will have to learn how to document. If you don't document, oh boy, it's going to come back to bite you. So My first and very first role that I recommend to you, family, if you're looking to get in this thing that I love, that I hope you fall in love with, called project management, is a junior business analyst. As I stated to you guys before, family, we will be having on Saturday, March 9th, that is the current date right now, and it's the Magnetic Project Manager School. I'm super excited about this, and maybe we'll do a live. I'll do a live with you guys just to show you the back end and what we're doing, just to convince some other people that this is going to be worth the journey with me. All right, let's move on to point number 2. Resource coordinator. Resource coordinator. See, this particular role here, see, you have an opportunity to learn about resource management tools and techniques, including software, which is the number one software that most project managers use, is Microsoft Project, or one of my favorite, another one of my favorite softwares is Smartsheets. But Microsoft Project is sort of like the platinum of, as far as what is the tool that is mostly used in the industry as project management. Now, however, I have been noticing that smart sheets have been really picking up a lot. And again, I like smart sheets, also like Microsoft Project. So either one, as I always tell you, you want to have your project management tool bag, as far as you can be able to navigate through either one, either Microsoft Project, smart sheets, or any other scheduling software that's out there. Here's some actionable steps for a resource coordinator. Practice by planning resource allocation for small projects, even though if it's hypothetical, but if it is not hypothetical, still do it. But if it's hypothetical, this is going to be to your advantage, because now you're getting these reps in. You're getting these, as they say, the sets and reps. So when I work out at the gym, I haven't been in a while, but when I used to go, as faithful as I did, now I do work. I do a lot of cardio now, but when I was lifting a lot of weights, to get in shape for basketball season, one of the things was I had to do a lot of different reps, meaning lifting the weights. And over time, I was able to watch this, family. I was able to do more reps over time. But when I first started off, I wasn't able to pump it out like that. But I was over time. So you have to look at this to understand that, family, when you get in this thing that I love, that I hope you fall in love with, called project management, being a resource coordinator allows you to really see what a lot of project managers struggle with, if they're being transparent with you. And just imagine you walking into that opportunity, having the background that you have now as being a resource coordinator. You will probably understand a resource sheet better than a project manager would, because of the fact that you're dealing with it day in and day out, because you're a coordinator. Meaning, if you work with a project manager and you're that resource coordinator, that should be your main role. Your main objective should be able to understand how is the resources, as far as the bandwidth. Is it, do they need more work or do they need less work? So, and then also managing budgets. Those are the two things. Managing budgets and resources is going to be key as a resource coordinator. My recommendation, for a real life recommendation, not something that's made up, is to shadow an experienced resource manager. Or, here's another one: volunteer your assistance for resource planning for community projects, so you can gain that real life experience. See, this is the thing they don't talk about. That's why we talk about it here, meaning to go volunteer somewhere in which you can go and gain that experience. Then you could take that experience, put it on your resume, boom, and then now you're walking in with more confidence and courage, because even if the system that they have is not the system that you worked in, the framework is still going to be the same. Okay, I know I got a smart audience out here. Family, I know what you think. Well, what do you mean the framework? Listen, resource management, I don't care what organization you go into, there is a foundation. The foundation is, guess what? The people. So if you understand how to manage people's time with regards to the projects or project that they're working on, it's going to benefit the project manager. All right, let's move on to point number 3. Change management assistant. One of the things that you can start doing right away, I'll give you to tonight to think it over, but tomorrow I need you to take action. Study change management theories and frameworks such as the Carter's 8-step change model, through online courses or reading materials. Now, again, you're going to hear me say volunteer a lot. Volunteer. Why am I saying that? Because if you don't have access to be able to go and get the experience, there are so many different companies, small business, large business, are looking for volunteers to come in. So I would again recommend, here's an actionable step: volunteer for roles and projects undergoing a change to understand dynamics and challenges of implementing change in an organization. Change is huge, especially in these days and times, family. You could be leading a project and it gets scrapped because of budget constraints, because of resource constraints, and having that ability to change on the dime, or and to really understand why the change is happening and being able to articulate out why the change is happening to your stakeholder is going to be key. Again, here's some recommendations, because again, I want to over deliver so much that you're going to be frustrated that, man, where's this video been at? Real life recommendation: participate in workshops or seminars like around change management to gain insights from experienced professionals. What I would recommend: attend a seminar, attend a workshop. And for those experienced professionals, I would literally go connect with them and say, hey, would you mentor me? Do you charge for mentoring? Because you know I'm always about paying for mentorship versus free, because again, you want to be able to, since the experienced professional is pouring into you, the way that you can show them that you appreciate them is first voting with your wallet, and second by actually executing on the thing that they ask of you to do. So working with an experienced professional to apply these real life learning lessons to a real world scenario is going to be key. All right, point number 4: junior project scheduler. Listen, one of the things we kind of know some of the scheduling software out there. I mentioned it before, Microsoft Project, but I'll go a little bit. I'll give you some more information. So, master scheduling software. You got Primavera, you got P6. Um, Let me see, Microsoft Project. So Primavera really, I said P6. Primavera and Microsoft Project are going to probably be your two, like the ones that are known in the industry that most organizations use. But again, like I stated earlier, there are a lot of organizations that are making the transition to smart sheets, and kind of using Primavera and Microsoft Project here and there. But again, there's so much free online tutorials and practices out there to be able to learn. What I would recommend is I would get one of the cloud-based Microsoft project. I'm not being sponsored by them, but I'm still want to give that value, and go and create schedules. Go create a personal schedule for you. Go and say, okay, for this week, and whatever your week is, and all the tasks and everything that you got to do, being able to put task items in there, build and put milestone, put leads and lags, understand the differences of actually how to build a schedule. Because again, as a project manager, you're going to know and if you don't have a master scheduler or a junior project scheduler, as a project manager, you're going to have to be able to build a schedule, not a project plan. But that's a whole nother schedule, a whole nother conversation, because there is a difference between a project plan and a schedule. But a lot of people say project plan when they're referring to a schedule. But I'll get off that soapbox. So again, uh, create a personal schedule for you. Keep practicing on that. Again, what I'm saying, sets and reps. And then for a real life recommendation, here's my real life recommendation: seek feedback on your schedules from an experienced project manager or schedulers to refine your skills and understanding of effective scheduling practices. One of my good friends, my buddy, my brother, Daryl, he is a master scheduler, and anytime I have any questions about scheduling, I go to him. And because of the fact he understands the scheduling aspect, because this is what he does day in and day out. So connecting with master schedulers or connecting with experienced schedulers is going to be huge for you. All right, point number 5: communications coordinator. Okay, what does that mean? One of the hugest things as a project manager, you're going to have the ability to articulate verbally as well as written. So by enhancing your communication skills through workshops, courses, or business communication. Also, one of the things I recommended, if you decided to go down the communications coordinator role, I would say start making YouTube videos. You don't have to post them if you don't feel comfortable, but make videos and watch them back. Ooh, I know that's going to challenge some people. The reason why I say that, family, is because of the fact if you take the time to watch how you are pronouncing things, watch how you are communicating, it's going to help you when you are going to actually have to do the real thing. Meaning, if you have to communicate to executives, if you have to communicate to directors, if you have to communicate to your peers. So being able to, that's why I always say, do a YouTube. Mhm. Um, some other things I would also recommend is work on your writing. How am I going to work on my writing? Start writing something every day, at least twice a week at minimum. I would say more because the reason why is because as a communication coordinator, this is your thing. This is like you're going to have to deal with a lot of resources. You're going to have to get to the point quicker. So how you would normally put together an email of saying, "Hey," and it's long, and you're sending it to an executive, they're not going to read all that. I'm not even going to read all of that. Um, so you have to find you have to find different communication paths, meaning that you have to understand when you need to communicate in so rich details versus at a high level, but it's easy to unpack and understand what the need is, and if there's a problem, and if there's a problem, how is going to be addressed, or do you need help with it being addressed. So here's a real life recommendation. Again, network with some communication professionals, join some relevant forums. You could join the Magnetic Project Manager School, but that's just a shameless plug. Anyway, to stay updated on best practices and emerging trends in project communication. Listen, so far we're up to five. These five roles are really is really one of the opportunity to lead you down the path of being a project manager. Let's move on to point number 6: IT project support analysts. Listen, this right here is an opportunity for you to build your technical skills and stay relevant. Like, I've been in the IT space, man, probably for almost, was about 10 years now, 8 to 10 years. I've been in here for a while, let's just say that. And one of the things that, if looking back, I wish I could have done too, I don't never have any regrets, but having the ability to get more involved technically. Sometimes when you lead projects, you're not asked to be the technical SME or to understand it technically. You just need to be able to articulate the information, written and verbally, at a pace, at an understanding that lets everyone know where the project is at. And if there's questions that are deep dive, you normally have a SME on your team. But if I would have started off as an IT project support analyst, I would have had a upper hand on a lot of project managers out here that are not as technical. So what I would recommend as some actionable steps is being able to participate in some IT projects, or again, I'm going to say this again over and over: volunteer, or watch this, family, intern, to so you can gain hands-on experience. What I would recommend, as well as working on troubleshooting small IT issues to improve your problem solving skills. What's one of the major things that I talk about is, as a project manager, having the ability to have problem solving skills. Point number 7: project administrator. Listen, one of the skills that I would recommend that you would develop is focus on mastering, administrative tools like Microsoft Office Suite. I'm telling you, you'd be shocked how many people you bring them into an organization and do not know how to use Excel. And I'm talking about from the basic, like, here's a row of numbers, add them up for me type deal. So you being able to do that will set you apart as well. So particularly for, because and as a project manager, you deal with a lot of data. So being able to find ways to crunch that data and then take that information into being able to articulate it into a PowerPoint presentation. So that's why I'm recommending understand, learn it, have a continuous learning about the Microsoft Office suite. And my actionable steps for you on this would be: document your achievements, such as improving document management systems or streamlining communications. One of the things that for more of a real life case study, join project management groups on LinkedIn or local clubs to learn from experienced professionals and understand the challenges and solutions in real world project administration. Point number 8: It's kind of similar to a planner, to a project. I mean, almost similar to a scheduler, but this is a planner, assistant project planner. Listen, this allows you to learn. You will want to learn Microsoft Project. Another tool you will probably want to use is Asana. And some actionable steps would be creating mock plans for hypothetical or small community projects. This gives you an opportunity to learn, okay, how I'm able to plan out a particular project, a project management plan. What consists of my project management plan? What are the 10 knowledge areas? What does that mean? So this allows you to plan better. What I would actually some real life, or I should say case study, of being able to sync a mentor from that is experienced in the realm of project planners and managers within your network through professional associations. I got two bonuses, family, because you know I want to over deliver because I know this means a lot to you. So, quality assurance coordinator, basically understanding the ISO, understanding quality standards relevant to your industry. So, whatever industry you choose to go into to for project management, do that. And also, here's my caveat: if you stayed to the end this long, here's some tips that if they didn't stay that long, they won't catch this one. Don't be so concerned about the industry, because as a project manager you will have the flexibility to pivot to different industries. So that's why getting the frameworks, getting the foundation of all of this and building on that foundation. Yes, there's going to be different if you made a switch from IT to finance, but the framework is going to still be the same. You're still going to need a project plan. You're still going to need a project schedule. Still going to need to document your risks. Still going to need to document your issues. So the framework is still going to be there. So my recommendation is basically aim to get certification in quality management systems, real world applications, and actually the QA methodologies can also boost your understanding. My last and final bonus is project support officer. Now you don't really see these a lot in the States as I used to. But just having the ability to develop a broad understanding of the project management phases from initiating to closing, and a lot of this again, studying your PMBOK, the project the project management body of knowledge is going to be key. Also, what are some actionable steps I would recommend, excuse me, that you assist project managers in their organization, or again, you're going to hear this will be the last time I think that you're here. Volunteer for for projects that you can assist with other project managers. See, that's the key. That if you can get into a volunteer space, and again, it depends on what your timeline is for wanting to get in a project management role. I received a lot of comments about, hey, could I got this particular certification? Can I get in a project management role or a project coordinator role? And my answer is always kind of almost the same, but again, it could change because I don't have a lot of context to understand like what experience do you have, what experience you don't you don't have. One thing I can say is if you get a certification, if it was based on the same experience, if it was two candidates with the same resume, meaning you both had the same experiences, but you had the CAPM or the PMP, more than likely they're going to go with you if you guys interview well on the same page. It's like, okay, well, this person seems a little bit more serious about their craft and their career, and I'm gonna go with them. Now that's just me, it's subjective, so I'll say that because if it was me, if I'm looking at two of the same resumes, one has a certification and one doesn't, and they both have the same experience, then I'll probably go with them. But here's the caveat, family. This is the thing that you don't catch all the time is understand when you get that CAPM or that PMP or that ACP, make sure you continue to hone your craft, because if you decide to jump in this thing called project management and you go for an interview as a project coordinator or any of these roles that I talked about, IT project support and analysis, uh, you're going to be asked what are the 10 knowledge areas? Could you list them for me? What is 49 process? How do you handle risk? What type of template do you use? How do you handle issues? How do you handle escalation? These are all questions. You know what? That makes me think. I'll probably have to do an interview type thing, like some of the top interview questions that I've experienced in my career that made me say, huh, that was a really good question. So I'll do that for you guys. But here's my closing remarks. Um, Three of the favorite roles, if I was to start my career over from scratch, from zero, from zilch, these are the three roles that I would look at. The first one would be a project support officer, meaning this role is again gaining a holistic view of project management through hands-on support in documentation, planning, execution, and supplementing by attending workshops for real-world insight. The second one is, which is my favorite, again, is business analyst. So when you are in the scoping phase, so you have plan scope, you have collect requirements. The collect, this is, I'm talking about the 49 processes. In the collect requirements piece, this is where if you have a business analyst background, you are going to be amazing. Again, subjective. This is my thoughts. Because that's what helped me be able to collect requirements better and match them up, functional and technical requirements. So I would say junior business analyst would be my number one first choice versus, maybe a project support officer and then transition into project coordinator, or just skip that and just go into project management. And the last and final one is resource coordinator. Just basically this particular role, again, is like I said, one of the biggest constraints that is not talked about enough in a lot, but in these days and times are resources. So having the ability to allocate resources effectively is going to be huge and key. So, family, I hope I over delivered today. I gave you 10, and I do mean 10 job opportunity that if you are looking to get into project management, one of those 10 roles will set you on the pathway to the thing that I love, that I hope you fall in love with, called project management. Until next time, you know my slogan. I'm out.